What do you think is going to do for the Republican Party and chances of holding on to leadership in the majority when it looks like you're the ringleader of a circus led by Matt Gaetz, who likes to blow things up but not offer any new ideas? Are you happy following Matt Gaetz? Is that your leader?
I'm not following Matt Gaetz. I made my own decision. I didn't ask Matt.
But if Matt Gaetz didn't challenge, you weren't going to challenge.
Do what?
If Matt Gaetz didn't stand up, you weren't going to challenge. You know that.
I believe I would have.
Oh, come on.
Oh, well.
Please. You were praying about it 1 minute. The next minute, you're going to lead an insurgency?
So you don't think that praying about it's important? Is that what you're saying?
One minute you're praying about how you're going to vote with Matt Gaetz. And the next minute you're going to lead an insurgency?
Listen, you got a predetermined answer to everything. I
have an opinion about what's going on. Do you have an opinion too?
And you talk over me every time I try to make a point.
All right, make your point.
Well, damn. Now that Matt Gaetz successfully led the charge against Kevin McCarthy's speakership, the Republican Civil War is spreading to anchors and pundits. They can see how bad this could be for the party. And Brian Kilmeade isn't taking any more of Tim Burchett.
The point is that we're $33 trillion in debt. This speaker was woefully lacking in leadership skills. He always placed the blame somewhere else. America is going to be better off with new leadership, and that's the bottom line.
And who is it?
Well, it possibly could be Steve Scalise. It could be Elise Stefanik. It could be Roger Williams out of Texas. It could be Mark Green out of Tennessee.
So they all supported Kevin McCarthy, including the most conservative guy I know, Jim Jordan. Why are you smarter than Jim Jordan and the 210 plus Republicans? Why are you smarter?
I represent my district, brother. And why are you smarter than me? You're condemning me because I stand up on my own, and that's
I'm not condemning you. I'm questioning you. You don't like being questioned?
The line of questioning is very negative, and you know that, and I know that.
Now that the dysfunction of the GOP is somehow even more glaring than normal and could cost him some seats in upcoming elections, Burchett has a target on his back, too. I don't think he was challenged like this by Fox News when he literally dismissed the horrific murders of little kids at Covenant Elementary School earlier this year.
3 precious little kids lost their lives, and I believe 3 adults, and the shooter, of course, lost their life too. So it's a horrible, horrible situation, and we're not going to fix it. Criminals are going to be criminals.
To protect people like your little girl from being safe at school.
Well, we homeschool her, but, that's our decision.
But when it's about the party potentially losing seats and not about little kids losing their lives, Republicans aren't holding back the criticism.
The Republican Party today just can't govern. Nancy Pelosi, with a 5-vote majority, she was able to govern. The Democrats have become the party of discipline, and the Republicans have become the party that lacks discipline.
We are not right now fit for governing. We are a party much more made for being in the minority. We like to vote against things.
If Democratic candidates don't use these declarations of futility and incompetence in upcoming elections, it'll be the most Democratic Party thing that they've ever done. It is time to highlight the reality that's been apparent even before Donald Trump took this party from comical levels of futility to just pure satire now. Republicans have successfully convinced enough people that they're the party of fiscal responsibility, of keeping Americans safe and opportunity. And now that they're unraveling in front of cameras, even staunch conservatives can't spin it any other way. Kevin McCarthy himself, at first he tried to spin this ouster to blame Democrats for it, but then he ended up telling the truth about the Gaetz faction when it comes to governing.
Today was a political decision by the Democrats. And I think the things they have done in the past hurt the institution. When they just started removing people from committee. You have 96% of your entire conference, but 8 people can partner with the whole other side. Unfortunately, 4% of our conference can join all the Democrats and dictate who can be the Republican speaker in this House.
A few moments later.
They are not conservatives. They voted against, one, the greatest cut in history that Congress has ever voted for, $2 trillion. They voted against work requirements. They voted against NEPA reform. They voted against border security. They voted against, they don't get to say they're conservative because they're angry and they're chaotic. That's not the party I belong to. The party of Reagan was if you believed in your principles that you could govern in a conservative way. They are not conservatives, and they do not have the right to have the title.
They're not conservatives, says McCarthy. And in reality, none of them are conservatives in the way that they present themselves. But this MAGA faction of conservatism doesn't care about the veil that the party tosses over their voters' eyes every election cycle. They care about power, and utilizing any and everything that they can to obtain that power for themselves, and most importantly, for Donald Trump.
Have you talked to President Trump about this?
I have.
And what was his advice to you?
I think I'm going to keep that between the two of us. I would say that my conversations with the former president leave me with great confidence that I'm doing the right thing.
Now that we have an opportunity to elect a new speaker, I'm going to force Washington to realize and remember that the American people support President Trump. We want him back as president, so why not make him Speaker of the House, even if it's an interim speaker, while we work to find another speaker. I think the House should support it. I think every Republican should support President Trump because he has supported them. So I'm going to force anyone that wants to run for speaker. The only way to earn my vote is to beat President Trump and match his policies.